Hello to my beautiful friends out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro. And this is your monthly forecast for October 2025. We've already moved into fall, and October is a cleansing month because we have Mercury being the star of the month and Neptune moving back into Pisces at 29 degrees, along with Saturn at 26 degrees. And there are other planets that are following. Mars is in Scorpio. We have Mars. Mercury is going to start out in Libra, but we have Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and then we have the Sun, and Mercury will also move into Scorpio this month. So there's an emphasis on the water. Okay, water represents reflection. It also represents what you can't see. Okay, it is a portal as well. So with this water energy happening this month, we have this it's a recalibration. Neptune and Saturn moving back into Pisces is the opportunity, and the last one, to make sure that we have brought the things up that we need to let go of. And for some reason, for some of us, we forgot something, and that something needs to be addressed, and that's why they're back to show us the way. Okay, and then we have Pluto in Aquarius stationing direct, and with that direct motion, the retrograde already brought things to the surface. Now that it's at the surface, Pluto is taking action swiftly, quickly. So the cleanup is happening, and some of it is going to be whether you like it or not, okay? But I suggest that you go with the flow, because we still have the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. So this North Node energy, along with the Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, we need to, make sure that we set our boundaries going forward. And because Neptune and Pisces are boundless energies, and sometimes with that energy, you may want to overextend yourself. And with Neptune being here, Neptune wants us to recognize our fear from our intuition. And that's where the fog and the confusion happens with Neptune. Neptune is very spiritual. It wants us to be on our spiritual path and grow spiritually, very compassionate. But we always tend to reference Neptune with the fog and the confusion. However, there is a reason for that, because that is about us being more keen about what we are experiencing, and know that the experience is either fear-based or your intuition speaking to you. Okay, So I don't want to spend too much time on this intro. Let me see what else was there that I wanted to share with you outside of Pluto and Neptune. Okay, well, oh, all right. We do have the full moon in Aries, and that's happening on the 6th of this month. And, even though the full moon is about releasing, this is an action oriented full moon and taking charge and being assertive in your persona, period. Okay. There's also Chiron in this action as well, and Chiron is going to highlight where the wounds are. Okay. And with the full moon being in Aries, there's a lot of emotion behind that because Aries is the first house. And with the first house, it's all about your head and your body, your personality. So, somewhere, with this Aries full moon, you are needing to heal a certain part of yourself. And there's, so much healing going on this month with Neptune, Chiron, and Pluto. But for the most part, Pluto is about the collective, okay? But, there's still some personal issues for each of us. So let's talk about the rest in the forecast. So I'll see you there. Hello to my beautiful Sagittarius Risings out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro, and this is your forecast for October 2025. Okay, I'm going to get right into the forecast here. On the 1st of October, we have Mercury in Libra squaring Jupiter in Cancer. And this is happening in your 11th house of groups, your social circle, hopes and wishes, your memberships, friendship groups, and your 8th house, which is, your house of shared resources, your transformation, your debt, taxes, psychological forecasts, death, and your father could be in there as well as someone that you may take care of the finances, other people's money. Okay, so your desire to be fair and supportive in your social groups may clash with your personal or shared financial responsibilities that are tied to transformation or intimacy. You may feel pressured, I gotta make the words bigger right now, to overextend yourself financially to support friend groups, activities, or put your it's too big. Or you may feel unsupported in handling complex financial matters. There is a risk of misunderstandings when discussing sensitive topics that involve shared resources. or deep emotional commitments. This is 8th house energy. You find yourself neglecting your own needs for emotional security and financial stability. Okay, so this is something that you're going to have to work through, because squares are not easily, you know, I was going to say handled, so I better say it's not easily handled. And there could be some pain involved as well, but it does depend on the degree, so it's not going to affect everybody as much as others. Okay, so on the 3rd, we have Mercury in Libra opposing Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer, and we all have Chiron in our charts, but it may not be in the sign of Aries. My Chiron is not. But this is a transit, so wherever Aries is during this forecast, which is in your 5th house, that's where the wound is happening for you, okay? So Mercury in Libra is in the 11th house. Chiron in Aries is in the 5th house. Your 11th house is about friend groups, large organizations. Your 5th house is about your creativity, your hobbies, your romantic partners, children, fun, okay, joy. So here you may experience conflict between your desire to express yourself creatively and your social goals. You may find it difficult to communicate new ideas related to your groups, or find your creative projects dismissed by your peers, and you feel wounded and vulnerable. That's your wound. You may feel pressured from your social circles or communities to be balanced and diplomatic, while simultaneously feeling the urge to assert your unique identity. Okay, so these opposition and squares really, it hits, they will hit home where you have to grow, in some way. And that's the part of growing up. So we have Mercury moving into Scorpio, and this is happening in your 12th house. This is the house of retreat, unknown. It's a secretive house. It's spiritual, and it's has your unconscious history there, and karmic history as well. So hidden enemies also reside here. So we have, during this transit, is harder for you to express yourself clearly or defend your own interests. You may experience a rise in expenses and potential financial setbacks. You may experience mental stress, issues with sleepiness, or anxiety could arise. So pay attention to your diet and overall health. Okay? So, but get your rest, because this is the 12th house. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, and you need to rest from that, okay? This is about, retreating. So the full moon in Aries is at 8:47 p.m. in your 5th house. You may feel a surge of confidence and a strong desire to start new creative projects, hobbies, or romantic pursuits. Okay. This is a powerful time to break free from limitations and express your unique self with conviction. You may be more direct and bolder in romantic encounters or in expressing your creative ideas. Let go of what no longer serves you at this time, too. And Sagittarius Rising, sometimes you say things to people just not even thinking, and it may not It may come off sarcastic or arrogant or even, narcissistic. So just be aware of how you communicate with others, okay? So on October the 7th, we have Mercury in Scorpio square Pluto in Aquarius. So we have the 12th house that we spoke about because, you know, the 12th house is active for you in this month, Sagittarius Rising. And the third house is where Pluto and Aquarius is. And this is about your communication, your early education, your short trips, friends, siblings, and your local community. So you may experience intense internal debates or power struggles between deeply held subconscious fears and your desire for liberating radical self-expression. You may be forced to confront and transform your deepest beliefs that have been hidden or unexamined. Your profound insights may be hard for you to articulate, leaving you feeling frustrated because your words feel inadequate to express the depth of your understanding. Wow. Okay, so that's a time that is going to pass as well. So on the 13th, we have Venus moving into Libra, and Venus rules Libra, and this is happening in your 11th house of groups, okay, your social connections, your membership connections, alpha phi if you're in sororities, your all kinds of groups that you may be taking part in because, Scorpio likes to get around. And this is also the place of travel, long distance in different cultures. So this is ideal for you to work on this 11th house energy. So during this time, your social life becomes more enjoyable and you may form new harmonious connections. You are likely to become more well-liked and have an influential presence in your social groups. This is a great time for teamwork and collaboration with the groups and social connections, providing opportunities for personal and professional growth. You may meet new partners or romantic interests through friends or at social gatherings. This is also a good time to work on your goals and desires with the help of your social network. Okay? So on the 14th, we have Pluto stationing direct in the sign of Aquarius, and this is happening in your third house. Okay? So this is, your local community, your friends, people that you are just, it's just mundane to you. You take things for granted here. But anyway, this is a big shift that's happening here. So you're not going to be able to just take things for granted because you're being asked to, let go, remove all of these old patterns that no longer fit you. So you can expect deep shifts in your long-held beliefs and thought patterns. Your ideas may become more radical or futuristic. This is a time for reevaluating your communication style and the way you express your unique perspective. You may find yourself needing to transform your relationships with your siblings, childhood friends, and your local community, or reframe what you thought you knew about them, your friends, your family, your siblings, and people in your local community as well. So on the 16th, we have the Sun in Libra square Jupiter in Cancer. And this is happening in your 11th house and your 8th house. So your Sun in your, well, not your Sun, but Jupiter in Cancer in your 8th house is about transformation. Did we talk about your 8th house? I know we talked about the 11th. Yeah. So you already know from my previous discussion about your 8th house. So this transit acts as a tug of war. It pits your drive for social integration and group involvement against your need for social against your need for emotional security. Wow. I don't know how I messed this up, but anyway, I did. So, emotional security and the exploration of deeper private matters. Wow. You may find yourself in situations where your effort is to be fair and balanced, Libra, in your social circles, and your social circles are challenged by joint financial responsibilities or intense psychological issues. Okay, so just take care of you because, you know, the Sun is ego driven. Mercury is the star of the month because Mercury is happening. So with a lot of the Mercury energy going around, that's a lot of communication and it could, you know, be overload. So the new moon in Libra at 5:25 a.m. is in your 12th house of the subconscious mind. This is an opportune time for self-analysis and emotional examination because it's in the sign of Libra, okay? You may feel a heightened sensitivity to subtle energy, a desire to commune with the subconscious or experience more vivid dreams. You may be bringing unconscious emotional patterns into your conscious awareness so that you can let it go, which is great because this is a month of let it go, okay? And with Neptune retrograding back into Pisces, yeah, this is more letting go. And this is in your 4th house of home, history, family, your physical home, your comfort, your need for security. Okay, so Neptune is retrograded back to 29 degrees in the sign of Pisces in your 4th house. All right, so during this time, you can expect a deeper exploration of your family tree and lineage, revealing past patterns or insights that can lead to a healing. You may experience a heightened empathy on the home front, but you also need to protect your own emotional well-being and avoid taking on others' feelings, okay? Because you can absorb that with Neptune. It's boundless. Okay, you are being asked to examine where you've lacked healthy boundaries, relied on escapism, or felt disconnected from your intuition or higher self. This is a time for forgiveness, both of others and yourself, especially those who've caused trauma in yourself for your own feelings of imperfection. So it's time to strengthen your spiritual practices and reflect on how your relationship to the divine manifests in your home and inner life. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is for tonight is the sun in Scorpio in your 12th house. Okay? So this is an annual transit through your 12th house, the sun is. And it's a natural time for reviewing the past year and understanding the long-term effects of your choices. You may feel the need to release past ambitions, expectations, or hurts to create space for new things to come into your life. You may experience a deep internal focus and a desire for quiet and solitude for reflection. Sagittarius Rising, that's good. You know, you are ruled by Jupiter, and you know that your spirituality is real. So you may become aware of subconscious influences, past karmic connections, or feelings of being obsessed or influenced by others. Okay, so here you just want to take it easy because you're going to be doing a deep dive into your own internal workings of Sagittarius rising, because the sun is in Scorpio and Scorpio is intense and very investigative. Okay, so things that are no longer serving you is a great place to be right now, because you can easily pick up on these things and release, because you're already in a place where they are. You know, sometimes we have to go from house to house to find, you know, what's holding us back. What have I not let go of? Well, everything plop right there is a bird's eye view. So get to it, let it go, and you'll come out on the other side loving yourself even more. Okay? And this is your reading, your forecast for October 2025, Sagittarius Rising. And until next time, bye for now.